is back again. This time you better tell a friend. M.A.V is where it's at. Max's Auto Vlog. It's a vlog, not a blog. Tell your dog, catch a frog. It's not a slog. Sit on a log and watch Max's Auto Vlog. Max's Auto Vlog. Spec and Auto, Max's Auto Vlog. Max's Auto Vlog.
How's it going, YouTube? Spec Auto is back with another episode of M.A.V. today. This is actually a really special M.A.V. episode. This is going to be a two-parter video, so this is going to be part 1 of 2. And part 1, we are going to install brand new speakers in my 2010 Honda Civic LX. So a few months ago, I got Acura ELS sound speakers from the junkyard for 40 bucks. They sounded good for a little bit, and then they blew, and they sound really bad. So I said, screw it. It's sadly past time for me to return these speakers back to the junkyard. It's been months at this point. So I just went ahead and bought brand new aftermarkets, and the aftermarkets I bought today are these. So these beautiful, gorgeous speakers are Infinity Sound, and it is the Reference 607F speakers. And I got 4 brand new of these on Amazon. Look how good quality that looks, man. That is freaking insane. But I'm going to be putting these in today. And I also got a couple of speaker baffles. These were going to be for the back, and then I got some rubber ones for the front. They were all supposed to show up today, but for some reason the rubber speaker baffles didn't show up. So I'm going to have to improvise. So instead, I'm going to use these speaker baffles that I have on hand for the front speakers. And then I'll just have to redo the back sometime and maybe put another set or another pair of baffles in the back when I get the time, because it's a lot easier getting to the back speakers in this thing than it would be getting to the fronts. Because sadly in the fronts you can't just pop the speaker grills off. In the front, if you want to get to the speaker in the door, you have to pop the entire door panel off. This whole panel needs to come off, so that kind of sucks, but hey, it is what it is, and that is why I'm doing it the way that I'm doing it now, and these are just going to go in the front. So included with these speakers are these adapters, so they can slide and bolt into the OE trunk and door slots for the Hondas. So I got the rings for the speakers, as well as the wiring adapters that are supposed to plug into the speakers themselves. Hence, making it plug and play, very easy to install. And I guess I can kind of go and show you all how to do that. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so the back speakers are going to be ridiculously easy to get to. So you're going to come back here, and you can see the speaker grill for the rear. All you're going to do is just stick a flathead screwdriver in there, or a pry tool, whatever it is. Just pop the cover off. Take your cover off, and then boom, there's your speaker right out in the open, where you can unbolt it, take it out, and swap it. So let's go ahead and take this other speaker grill off. Boom. Both speaker grills are off. Now let's go ahead and plug these. Alright guys, so you're going to come into the back, into the trunk. You're going to look up, and you're going to see these speakers. All you're going to do is just pinch on each side of this harness, and it should unplug. If I can get it. Where are you guys? Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. ass. So like I said, you're just gonna come in here, pinch both sides, pull out. That's literally it. Alright guys, so all you're gonna do is take a small stubby Phillips head screwdriver like this and just loosen that screw until it comes out. Then you're just gonna finger the rest of the way out, pull that screw out, and then slide it this way, in and out, and then here's your speaker. Just like that. And then you'll have to repeat on that other side. Alright guys, here's what we are dealing with before versus after. Here are the Junkyard Acura ELS surround sound speakers that I've removed. And look how tiny this little magnet here is. That's kind of sad. And then you'll look at this speaker, turn it around, and look just how massive that magnet is compared to the Acura OEM one. It's a pretty insane difference. After my experience of swapping out these original Honda speakers for the Acura ones, I don't really notice a difference between the quote-unquote ELS premium surround sound and the basic Honda speakers. I mean, they even look practically the same, and honestly, even the OE speakers are still not even blown. These are blown. So, it's almost like they put even less quality into these just by looking at it. It's kind of sad. But we don't have to stress about that anymore because we're going to go ahead and start setting this speaker up and the second one, and we're going to install them into the trunk. Okay guys, I need to make a little bit of a correction here. So I already finished these two first speakers, but I know I said to put the foam between the speaker and the bracket, but I actually come to realize that it actually goes on the very back of the bracket. But I'm not mad about it because this might actually benefit me in the long run, because if I have foam here and behind this, it might really help limit any kind of rattling that might come from these speakers. So I'm not mad about this mistake, but I wanted to correct it and be like, actually, it's not here that it goes, it's really here. The reason I made that mistake is because I was thinking about the OEM speakers and how the sticky stuff is just like directly on the back of the speaker. But then I realized, hey, it's supposed to be where the back of the frame is, but whatever. No big deal. But I wanted to at least have the courtesy to tell you guys, like, hey, you don't have to do it like this, like have the foam here and the foam back here. But I guess it's an option if you want extra security from vibrating. I have extra foam laying around to use for the speaker, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, it's just like as I shown you, the 4 screws just kind of go into the speaker frame like this, and that is how the speaker starts to kind of look more OEM shape for the OEM slot. So yeah, you just repeat these steps for the front speakers, obviously, when you're putting them together and getting ready to throw them in the car. But let's go ahead and go to the next part. I also, before we go to the next part, man, I was actually kind of disappointed because I filmed the entire process of screwing these screws in and showing you guys exactly how I did it, but I guess it's really not that important, at least according to my camera. I miss my GoPro. I don't know where my GoPro is, so I'm filming with my phone. Okay, guys, as a matter of fact, before I officially button everything up here, I forgot to mention, in these speakers, you have a little button here, right on there. You can kind of see it, can't you? If it's pressed up, it says +0 decibels, and if you push that down, it adds additional 3 decibels to your audio. So you want to make sure that your button on these tweeters are pushed down for your extra 3 decibels of sound. Alright guys, so all you do is take your wiring harness adapter and just kind of plug it into your OE stereo harness for the rear speakers, as you can kind of see right here. And of course, these are conveniently colored, black for negative, white for positive. So you'll just want to plug those in to their appropriate color there. Alright, so if you come up here to the speaker, if you look, you can see on one side there's a minus, and on the left side is going to be plus. So you're just going to want to plug those, plug these little guys in their appropriate spot. Alright guys, so the back speakers are done. As you can see, I installed them. Just a fair warning in advance. You're probably going to have trouble with this negative terminal when you're initially trying to plug it in. You want to be careful with it, not go too hard on it, because there's a very good chance that you might bend it and or break it. I started to bend it a little bit, but I got it back out and was able to like just barely squeeze it on. And contact on both sides are good. I tested both speakers in the back and they both sound phenomenal. Now onto the front. Alright guys, as you can see, doors are tore off, old speakers are removed. However, I have put this boom mat in place, which is a baffle for a speaker. I wanted to show you guys how I put it in there. I cut a tiny hole in the bottom of it to run my speaker wire through, and it's literally just as easy as shoving it into the hole. Boom. It's like that on this side. You can't really see, but it's the same exact thing on the other side too. So now we're gonna wire up our speakers just as we did with the trunk, and we'll give you an update. Alright guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys, since it'll be a little more tricky inside the driver's side and passenger side doors rather than being in the trunk, with that angle, I'm gonna show you right here how I plugged this wiring adapter into the speaker. So you can kind of look, and you can see the plus and minus like I said earlier. But the minus will have the smaller plug, the plus will have the bigger one, and it kind of coordinates. So Black will be negative, white will be positive, and you can definitely see that this is a bigger one and this is a smaller one, so this is a perfect match. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to plug them into their appropriate slots. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the positive, because like I said, the negative ones was giving me an issue. So I'm just going to pop it in. Oh wait, probably the other way. There we go. That plugs right in. If the camera stops blurring. And then we can do the same thing for the other side here. Make sure it's in right. And that should be about it. Like that. Perfect. Then all you do after that is just repeat the process on your second speaker. And now you have a quote-unquote OE style plug and play for your aftermarket Infinity reference speakers. And then we can just get to installing them in the doors and buttoning the car back up. Alright, so this part's going to be a little bit tricky because I got to get in a funny angle now. Like I said, it's going to be trickier. That's why I wanted to plug these wires in first. So now we'll just go ahead and snap these into place. Hear that click? Should be good. And then we can go ahead and just kind of start shoving this wire back into the door a little bit. And then we can pop this in. And then we can start getting ready to mount it and screw it into place. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay guys, when you go to mount your speaker, make sure your top point and these two bottom points for your speaker are open, because if those are blocked and you can't get your speaker in, you could break something, or you could completely install it wrong and it would be a little bit of an issue. So I'm gonna try squishing it in like this a little bit so the holes are exposed, and I'll be able to screw it in. I'll let you guys know how that works. Okay guys, here it is. Our speaker is all set up, plugged in, mounted into place with the baffle behind it, so it should be good to go. So now all we have to do is throw this door panel back on, button everything up, and then we can test our audio. Alright guys, so everything is now buttoned back up. Had to fight with a few things, but other than that, everything's back together, and I tested the speakers out. Of course, I can't quite do that on this video because I don't want to get copyrighted. But good news is you can visit me on Spec and M.A.V on TikTok. I will post both video clips from before when the speakers were blown to these new Infinity speakers. So keep an eye out on that, and make sure you like and follow my TikTok if you want to. But yeah, let's gonna call it that for 5-year anniversary with this Honda Civic, part 1 of 2. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Please don't forget to leave a like, share the video with your friends and family, and most of all, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon to get notified of each video upload in the future. Until next time, stay safe out there. See y'all later.
Going to the junkyard, going to let myself unwind. Spec M Auto. Spec M Auto.